Okay, I'm live, but now I got to find Eric. All right, Eric, Mr. Eric. Hi, you guys. Thank you for coming. Check your email. Okay, I will, but I've got to find Eric first. He's the interview for tonight. Let's see. Here's Eric. Hello, join me tonight. High functioning autism, love from Culver City. Okay, good. So, Eric, can you click on the link? Can you hear that? All right. I don't think he can click on the link. Let's see if I can call him. I don't know if this is him. Okay, pardon me, you guys. I got to find Eric. Okay, contacts. ERIC. Eric. Okay, there you are. Oh, wow. I love it. Thank you for coming on. This is good. I've just got to find Eric. I sent him a link. Oh, wait, there he is. There he is. Wait, hang on. There he is. Okay. All right. There. Okay, can you hear me, Eric?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so first of all, I just want to introduce my guest, which is Eric, and he's going to be speaking tonight and sharing with us his life with autism. So thank you to everyone that's come on so far, and welcome, Eric.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. It's nice to meet you all. Love from Culver City, California. As I always say on in the chat. It's nice to meet you all, and happy you're here with us.
I am too. Thank you, Eric. So, tell us a little bit about what you'd like to tell us.
Well, first, I would like to start off with how my diagnosis started with high functioning autism. So,
Okay.
So when I was born, so this was back in 1987. This was back March 3rd. So that was last week. That's when my birthday was, and I'm 38 now.
That's right.
You know, the doctors didn't really know back in the late 80s what autism was, and I looked it up online recently, and autism started way before the 80s, and it was called a condition back then. So there was not really a autism diagnosis until like the early to mid 1980s. So
what did they call it back then, Eric?
It was called a condition. So they only
condition.
it was like schizophrenia type thing.
I got you.
You know so so the doctors didn't really know what was going on with me. So when I was diagnosed with autism, that didn't start until 5 years old. So that didn't start until the early 90s. So
Wow.
that took at least 4 years, or 3 or 4 years, for my diagnosis.
Right.
And it took me and my parents to think what is wrong with me and stuff, and they tried to find out from the doctors and all that, and before my diagnosis, with autism, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was a toddler. So I was like maybe like 2 years old, when I was diagnosed with that. So with all the things that was happening, throughout my childhood, I was dealing with, with my ADHD, and then my autism diagnosis and all that. And it took me a while to understand what it was.
Right.
I didn't understand what autism was until I was a teen. So
Sure.
that didn't like start until then. Um um so like so when I was a teen, I was dealing with a lot of drama with with the autism and all that stuff. So I had to see a therapist, a therapist to have a one-on-one and tell them you know what medications I need to take and what I need to be aware of, with what I'm dealing with. And it took me a few years, to be
Sure.
in therapy and stuff, for
Sure.
me to have my medication, you know, put my brain, a lot better, so um, and you know, um, it was like, um, it's like, with my parents and my younger brother, you know, we as a family was trying to, you know, you know, help me out with what I need to do, to try and relax myself and try and be calm. If I'm like, in a depressed, time, all I would need to do is just, well, at the time when I was a teen, I was in school. So I was in high school and all that stuff. So all I did back then was, just sleep. That's all I needed to do was just take a nap and relax and sleep, and all that. So,
And then you'd
but
be okay after that?
yeah, yeah. So,
That had to be
it,
a very confusing for you, though, as a young man.
yeah. I mean, it took a lot of effort, for my family to, help me with that, and my extended family, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, all my family, knew what was going on with me, and you know, they were there to, understand, what I was going through, and and you know, and it took me so long in my 38 years of life, that everyone that deals with autism and ADHD and ADD and all that stuff, it takes everyone a lot of time for them
It
to,
does. It does.
be able to, know that we're special and we have a different mind and we think differently, and we're just this type of different type of people, and it's how everything is in life. I have a family member that that you know that 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 has Down syndrome. So I have a family member that has that, a cousin,
Right.
and he's dealt with that his whole life. And I mean, he's a lot older than me, um, but yeah. So our family deals with autism and Down syndrome and all different types of diagnosis, and that we all deal with. Um, and it's it's a struggle for a lot of us, even even when we think differently, it's hard for people to understand what we deal with in life.
Yes. Yeah. I know from having epilepsy and I think ADHD. I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but I'm pretty sure I have something, some form of that, where I spell letters, spell words wrong and stuff like that. But I know what you mean. It's like I think differently than a lot of people, and it took me years to understand it. Years. I mean, I have another friend that we have the same thing, and we would both certain things would happen, and we would go, "It happened again," and it was kind of a good thing. It was like we would see things. Do you see things ahead of time sometimes?
Uh, I what do you mean by ahead of time? What do you mean? By like what like for example for me to understand.
Okay, like we were working in offices and we would pick up something like let's say something really bad that was going to happen, but no one else in the office did. And so we would go tell the boss and they would fire us. And it was like it was just that and it was we were right. It turned out we were right on what we thought. It's just they couldn't handle it. It's just sort of a perception thing that is different than a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't think I have dealt with that in my younger years
That's
or
good. How was it
in
in
my adult life.
school? How was it in school for you?
Well. This takes a different turn. So when I was in elementary school, when I was in elementary school in first and second grade, and also kindergarten, also somewhat, I was bullied a lot as a kid.
Right.
I hate being bullied. I hate being
Sure.
bullied now in my adult life. But
Sure.
you know, you know, you know, when back then when bullying was around, I know bullying has around for a long time, but in my lifetime, in school, you know, teachers and kids didn't really understand about autism or ADHD or any type of disabilities and all that.
Right.
So so my mom um worked at the preschool next door to the elementary school I went to. I won't say the name of the school, but my mom, you know, found out what happened with me, and she went over to the school, the elementary school, and talked with the teachers, and was like, why didn't you, watch after my son, and if there was any bullying happening,
Right.
you either separate them from my son and all that, and it was a difficult time back then with bullying and stuff. Nowadays, it's different, where bullying takes a big turn and it's more worse, and it makes the kid or teen, more in a depressed type of uh mind,
Right.
where, they wanna, you know, put themselves in a bad position. So it's like, it's sad for kids and adults, now that deal, with bullying
Sure.
and it's like where you know, you know, we try to stop people from bullying, kids and others that have a disability and all that, but the teachers and staff and people at the schools nowadays, they 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 don't really understand what we all deal with, and it's really sad for the parents that have to deal with those with their kids that have autism or Down syndrome or or they have depression, like or any type of disability, and they have
Right.
to homeschool their kids and not be in public school anymore. So that's really the thing that kids have to deal with nowadays.
To keep him away from the bullies.
Yeah,
Yeah. But you know what? Homeschooling is really great. It is. I'm a big homeschooling advocate, so I know what you mean. It's not good when you have to do it. But I do think some homeschooling I've seen has been really great.
yeah, but yeah. So there's a topic that I do want to bring up, and
Okay.
and well, I know a lot of people can relate in the chat, and also you and everyone, but um, but it's with, you know, if you're on if you're in some sort of um you're in your own state of mind where you feel that, you know if you don't like different types of words that people say, like,
Right.
there's like the R word, for instance. I hate the R word. I don't even
Right.
like that word. I don't even say it. I hate it. But
Right.
there's people out in the world that say it, and it makes people or family members that deal with, you know um that deal with the R word. And when a person says that, the adult, you know you know if it's an adult of a kid that has autism or Down syndrome or any of that stuff, you know they take a turn and look at the person and, like, why did you say that word? It's an offensive word and it's derogatory, and you're not allowed to say that word. And then there's people that turn on you and they start being rude, and it's like, these types of people, don't really understand what autism feels like, and it's different with others that have it, and even me, and it's like where it's like where you know it's like where everyone in the world that doesn't understand the R word or any of that, they need to look up what the definition is. And if they
Right.
say, "Oh, this is we don't do this word. We don't say this word in our house. We don't say this in front of our family. Any of that stuff." So, but if there's people that, like, well, what is the R word? And I'm like, I'd rather not say. There's people that would say I'd rather not say the word. It might offend my kid and stuff.
Sure.
Like, you know, and and you know, you know, and 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 the parent might be upset with the person, or they might say, "Why don't you look up on Google what autism is and what the definition is on it?" And how you will treat the people with autism the way that they are different. So it's like, they have to deal with, with telling everyone that says the word, this is an offensive word. I would advise you to go on Google, look up what autism is, or Down syndrome, or any disability, and it will help you out what it means when you say the R word. and then
Right.
maybe that person will understand a little bit better, you
Exactly.
know.
Well, there's a bunch of people on here, just so you know, Eric. Mysteries T has a son who's autistic, and Jennifer June is autistic, and I think became autistic at age 12. And Marie just popped on and said, my 14-year-old autistic, and it's been quite a ride navigating it in the school system. He's got an amazing mind. He's he's in honor classes, but has a very hard time with the executive functioning. Yeah, you probably understand that, Eric.
Yeah, in high school, so I can relate to Marie. I can relate to her,
Right.
um, and her son. So when I was in high school, and middle school also, I was not really bullied at all. This was only in elementary school I was bullied. So in middle
Oh,
school and high school, I had friends that had my back, that helped me out, if anything happened,
that's so
or
good.
anyone that I know.
Yeah.
And there's in high school, when I was in high school, now this is a story that Marie might understand with her son. Um, well, they at my school, this is Palmer City High School. This is in California where I went. Um, um, you know, we had the honor roll, and it's where you receive yourself on well, it's not a diploma per se, like you're graduating, but they have an assembly in in like a theater room or auditorium or somewhere, and they have an assembly and they list all the students' names that has been on the honor roll, if it's the blue honor roll, silver, all that stuff.
That's
You
good.
know, I was on the honor roll maybe 4 times. At least 4 times I was on the honor roll since I had a good academic record.
Good.
You know, and and um you know um so I know Marie's son probably has had that happen in his school, in high school, and all that. So I have a feeling that her son has done that, has gotten the honor roll, and he feels proud of himself, and you know and you know and you know it's a proud moment for me, and
Sure.
it's a proud member it's a proud moment for everyone that
Sure.
that has been in it. So it's like, you know we have to, you know be happy for what we have, and and what we deal with, and all that, so but but yeah so but yeah um but yeah so um but yeah, I wasn't really bullied in high school or middle school. I'm like now here's another thing. So in high school, oh, who's just saying hello? Oh, Sophie's here.
Just
Sophie's
Sophie
here.
just popped on.
Oh, yeah, my
I
friend
forget that
Sophie.
you can see me. I can't see you, but you can see me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I know Love is here, but my friend also my friend Sophie's here also. But yeah, in high school, um, I don't know. You probably remember. I know you probably remember, and everyone in the chat probably remembers. Um, you know, um, there's this program in school and also out and about and stuff called Best Buddies. It's a program where you're paired up with a buddy, if they're like normal, if they have a disability or something, and you want to hang out with them on weekends, like
Yeah, it's
if
kind
you
of like
want
a
to go to
buddy
a
system.
movie. Huh?
The buddy system, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in high school, we had that in high school, and our my special ed class that I was in special ed since elementary school, so I was in it for a long time. Um, so when we were in elementary school, we didn't have the buddy system or any of that, so that didn't start until high school. And I was paired up with buddies and all that stuff. If it was a man, not a man, if it was a boy buddy, or if it was a girl buddy, or whatever they pit you and they put you with, you know and they ask you things, like what we're doing here. They ask questions and stuff. um you know and they ask you, you want to hang out this weekend, maybe go eat, or go to a movie, and I'm like, can I bring my friend along, and we'll have a buddy date, and we did. We
That's
did that. We
good.
went to a movie, and we went have a bite to eat. Um, you know, um, I don't remember what the place was, but um, but yeah. So that was like what we had in high school was the best buddies program. And we
I think we had that too.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so um, you know, but yeah, so um, yeah, so I was in best buddies throughout high school. So I was in it. The thing is I graduated high school, but I stayed in until I was 22. So I stayed another 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Let's say, and to finish up, finish up my education and stuff. I didn't go to
Right.
college or any of that stuff. That was too hard for me to do. I'm like,
It's okay. You
I didn't
finished
want to be
high
at
school.
those.
That's good. That's good. I mean, you took
Yeah,
the time to finish high school. That's really good. It really is.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. But after high school, well, this was during high school. Um, So there is this other program that I did out of high school, and it's called Special Olympics.
I know
It,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Tell
So
us about that.
I was in that for about 15 years, and
Wow. Good for you.
yeah, and well, I didn't do any of the sports. Like they had, like they had track and field, they had basketball, they had gymnastics, they had um you know football. I don't know if they had football, I don't remember, but they had like the small sports, like basketball and gymnastics and track and field and bocce ball, and all that type of stuff. But I didn't do I'm not a sports person. I'm not that technically sports a sports fanatic. Um you know
I hear
but
you. So what did you do in the Special Olympics?
we had a group program in Santa Monica, not in Province, in Santa Monica in California. Um and my one of my teachers, my aides that was in high school at the time, he still is now. He's been in it for a long time. He
Oh,
ran Special Olympics, the program, since the 1980s, or no, not the 1980s, since the 70s,
wow.
the mid 70s, and so me and him, he asked me if I wanted to join Special Olympics, and I said, yeah, I would love to try it and see how how everything is, and meet people and all that stuff. So we did, and what we did is our group likes to do outings. So we like to go to a movie, or we go have a bite to eat, or we take a trip on a bus to a charter bus to, like a museum of some sort. So we
That's
do those types of things.
yeah, I like that kind of thing. We
Yeah.
should go on an outing sometime, Eric. We should. It'd be fun. We could get some of the people that are around from LA, from the LA area, and we could go on an outing.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that. When I'm not able to when I'm in my state of mind right now, where my legs and my back are in a lot of pain, and I'm not able to move and all that, and I'm still dealing with that after a year.
I just yesterday, love it helped me. I have a hard time with balance, and she helped me yesterday, and I can't thank her enough. So you never know when someone's going to come along that might help you a little bit, and it really makes a difference. So
But yeah, but
what
yeah.
what what have been some of your favorite outings?
Well, 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 well. One of them is. Well, I like to eat. So if I want to eat at like a fast food place that I love burgers and fries
Right.
and tacos and burritos and all that type of stuff. So there's places like McDonald's, or there's Jack in the Box, or there's like all these other burger places that I eat and I love and stuff. So so we have that in my area. So if there's for me, if I want to eat something, and all that, I just take a bus and just ride there. Since I
Right.
don't drive, I don't have a car or a license or any of that stuff. But
Mm.
um, but yeah, so that's what I did when I was in my 20s and also in my early 30s. Before all of this happened with my legs and my back and stuff. But but yeah, and that's what I like to do is just go to different places. Maybe I go to a store that I love. If I like to go
Yeah.
in, like if there's an electronics store, you might know it as Best Buy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's a
That's where
place
I got my laptop. That's where I got this laptop.
yeah,
Best Buy.
um, yeah, yeah. That's where I like to go and see what there is and 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 that's why I love to see all the things, TVs and also the laptops, obviously, and
And they probably
and,
all
and
know you at Best Buy, right?
well, well, my brother used to work at Best Buy. My brother used
Oh,
to work there, but
oh,
but 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 it's not the one that he used to work at.
right.
He worked at a different Best Buy, um, but um, but But yeah, so that's what I always do is I go in Best Buy to look at the TVs and see how different the picture quality is on the TVs, or I look at the laptops and see how everything is and stuff. And also I'm a video game person and I love video games. I love to play
Oh,
like different types of games and stuff.
yes.
Um, so I'm a PlayStation lover, so I love like I don't have the PS5 yet, but I want to get the PS5 and start playing more video games and stuff. But
And PS5 is what?
PlayStation,
Oh, PlayStation. Okay. Okay. And
yeah,
you have what, a 4?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a
yeah,
good thing. That's a good thing to wish for.
yeah. So you know, but yeah. Oh, by the way, Danny's here. I see Danny's here. Danny, our Danny, Danny's impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny, what's up? It's nice to meet you, but I've been on your lives before, but yeah, but it's nice to meet you. Um, um, but
Everyone is saying hi to you, Eric, and thank you for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. It
yeah, well, I
really
have a lot. I have a lot more things. I have a ton more stories.
Oh, I know.
Um,
I'm not saying goodbye. I'm just telling you as it goes along, a whole bunch of people are thanking you and asking a few questions. One of them wanted to know, what do you like to do for fun? One Love 51,000. But I think you've answered that, some of it. Do you have other things that you like to?
yeah, yeah. But like my favorite, like my all-time favorite thing that I like to do for fun, my main thing is
Is
is eat. That's the main. That's is eat food. You know, whatever place I want to eat at, there is around the area. So that's what I like to do is eat. I'm not a sports person. I like to, as I said from before, so I don't do sports. But yeah, and even with going to the movies and stuff, there are movies out there, but the new movies are being out in the theaters. I'm like, I don't know about this movie. It might have a lot of violence in it. It might have some things that might trigger me and stuff. You
no, they're
know,
too flashy. They're too flashy for me. I can't deal with it.
you
But
know.
certain movies are good. Like there's a movie out now called Lee, and it's based on a true story about a photographer in World War II, and it's on Hulu. I don't know if you have. Do you have Hulu?
Um, well, the thing is, I don't, I do, but I don't like that app. I really am on that app since that has a lot of ads and I hate ads. You
Uh,
know, you know, the only thing I am on like mostly is Netflix and Amazon Prime,
me
you
too.
know, and what is it? Peacock TV. It's an app through NBC, the NBC app, you know. Um, so those are the types of apps I rather use for TV shows that I love and stuff. The other thing is I'm a big Disney fan. I love Disney and I've been to Disneyland many times and I
Me
have
too.
Disney Plus. So there's
Mhm.
there's a lot of like movies, documentaries,
Mhm.
all that type of stuff that's Disney related. Um now 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 I don't know if you guys remember this popular movie. Movies. Let me put it that way. Movies. Um, and it's one it's one of my all time favorites, and I love these movies. It's Herbie the Love Bug.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, so ever since I was like maybe, gosh, 6 or 7 years old, is when I started seeing the Herbie movies.
Right.
It was mostly on like Disney Channel or any stuff back then. They did like old movies back then on TV.
Right.
So you know so they did the whole all four uh of the Herbie movies. Back to back to back. You
Yeah.
know yeah. And what I love about Herbie is he drives on his own without anyone driving.
Right.
And you know, the way that special effects were in the back seat of the car, there's obviously someone driving the car, but you're not able to see it since the person
Oh,
is behind the back seat of the car.
oh
So
yeah.
you know so so it's like, like people that know this movie will be like, he drove on his own and there was no one driving and stuff. It's like with what is that series, Knight Rider. That's another favorite of mine that I love, is Knight Rider, and it's also another car that drives on its own. you
Right.
know you know um
That's what someone just asked. The battle asked, was Herbie a Mini Cooper?
No, it was a VW Beetle. It was a
Yeah.
'63. I
Okay.
I I I I I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, what the Mini Cooper was the Italian Job. If you guys remember the Italian Job from back in the '60s or
Right.
'70s,
Right.
yeah, that's what those cars were. Um, you know, um, but yeah, so um, but yeah, so that it's like yeah, so but yeah, those are like my favorite movies and TV shows. I love Knight Rider. I like the old type of stuff. I like, Knight Rider, Murder She Wrote, I Love Lucy,
I love
Rocket
I Love
Files.
Lucy. I do too. I grew up with I Love Lucy.
eh, You know, but yeah. So then that's where the thing is on all the streaming platforms. Well, Netflix doesn't really have it. It's only Amazon Prime and Peacock TV and those ones that mostly have all the old TV shows.
But you
You
know what
know,
else, Eric, that you can do is go on YouTube and type in old movie shows. And like Mark last night, we did a interview, and he came up with an old game show he was on. Mark Bunker, and he found an old game show that he was on in the '90s, and he won. He won.
I saw that when I was on his live on Monday.
Good. That was fun seeing it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and also when he said when Mark said that he didn't have the car for very long and he sold it and he bought something better. You know, I'm like, well, there was better cars out there in the '80s. That was a lot better. And nice and stuff. But
Yeah.
with a car like a Mazda 323, either it was a sedan or a hatchback or what. But those cars back then will be super tight. Like if you sit in the driver's seat, I know a lot about cars. I love cars, but
Oh,
but it's but with how cars are, there's like mid-size, there's full size, there's compact, there's you know all that stuff. You know, um, the car that he won must have been a little too small for him. For Mark. That's why he wanted a better
no,
car for
no, no,
him.
no, he owed bills, and so he sold it to get money so he could pay off the bills, and he bought a used car that was much less.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah. I'm seeing. Ooh, love it. Love it starting to make me hungry now. I want
I
chocolate.
know. She's
I
making
mean, I mean,
chocolate something.
yeah. But the thing is my all-time favorite candy is Reese's. I love Reese's.
Me too. Me
You
too,
know,
and the other one that I love is Paydays.
well. I do love peanuts, but on a candy bar, mm, no.
Not your
I mean, if it's in with chocolate, then I'll eat it. Like a Snickers or something like that. I would eat it with peanuts inside with the caramel and the chocolate. That I would eat. But on top of a candy bar, no, no.
Isn't it funny how we all have different tastes?
Yeah, but but yeah. So, but yeah, someone was saying in the chat, um, uh Sharona said that you know that he grew up with the Herbie movies when it came out. I was 9 when the second one was out. I also love the old Knight Rider, Herbie Kit, and R2D2 from Star Wars. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Um, I am not really a Star Wars person. I mean, I tried. I saw like the later ones. The later ones that were from like later in life, like the ones without Mark Hamill and stuff.
Right.
But like the ones that were from back in the '70s and '80s and all that stuff. um, I'm not really a Star Wars fan or Star
No,
Trek.
I wasn't
I'm
either.
not action type TV show or movie type fan. You know, um, but yeah, but but um, but yeah. So um, but but yeah, but I do love the newer Star Wars. From like 2000, not 2000, 20, 2015, something like that, like all the way up until till then. You know, I mean, there was Star Wars before that, but Star Wars movies before that, um, but but I'm not really the old Star Wars. I'm not a fan of those. With how the movie was. Um, but
Darth
you
Vader and
know,
everything.
but yeah. So um,
But I think we all agree we love to eat. We're with you on that.
yeah. No Face says someone get Eric Chitostis. I don't even know what that is. If No
What
Face
is
would like to explain that, I would love to know what that is.
what did they say?
There's this thing. No Face said get Eric some Cheeto sticks. I don't know if it means something with chicken or something like that. I don't know. you
I don't
know,
know either. You'll have to explain it. Not
mm.
you, but they'll have to explain it to us because we don't know what it is. I don't know what it is either. I don't even see it.
Yadira said chicken tenders. Well, um,
Chicken
well,
feathers?
yeah, like Denny's or something like that. Like those the chicken tenders at Denny's. No, I'm not.
Oh,
I don't like chicken tenders.
mm,
The only chicken I would eat is at McDonald's. They're like the nuggets. That's the stuff I would eat at McDonald's.
right.
you know, that's the only type of chicken I would eat. I don't want to eat like like any chicken. Processed chicken or chicken from KFC or any of that. The taste is different with my taste buds. Um wait, Love It has a story. Uh uh oh, oh, or I don't know. Chicken says the old One Love says the old candy. Um I don't think I even had that. I don't think I
What is it?
even heard of that brand of
What what
candy.
what did she say?
What what No Face was saying is Cheeto is candy. Um,
Ew.
it says it's cane sugar, peanut butter, and candy. No, I don't think we have that in California. I
No,
don't think we. I don't think I even heard of that name. With
I have not either. I see what you're saying. It's not chicken. It's a cane sugar peanut butter candy stick. Ooh, sounds
yeah,
awful.
yeah.
It
The thing
doesn't sound
is,
like anything.
huh?
It doesn't sound like candy to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, yeah. That's why the only thing with peanut butter I love is the Reese's. That's the only thing I would eat. That's the only candy I would eat. And
Yeah,
also See's candy. I would eat that. Since they have peanut butter,
any day,
anything. You know,
any day. I'm the
you
same.
know.
Now, let me ask you this: as far as sensory, do you know what sensory input is? Like lights, sounds, features, things like that.
Well, you mean like what, like a sensory disorder?
Well, do you have any that bug you or that you like?
No, I'm not. With light, I always have my light on all the time. I don't I'm not a fan of the dark. I don't like the being without light and stuff.
Right.
You know, you know, um, you know,
Interesting, because I'm the opposite. I love dark and I love night. And I also love the sun though too. But I don't like flashy lights. I really don't. If you went to the movies with me and we were in a movie where it was flashing, you'll always see me like this because it just hurts my head.
Yeah. Um. Um. The thing is that's that's been really hard for me with light and stuff. So I always have my light on whenever I'm in bed and stuff. I always have the light on. When I'm in when I'm tired and stuff. Um
Right.
you know but
And that helps.
yeah, yeah. Um but yeah, so um I'm seeing everyone's here.
I
Love it.
know.
Love it. Love it. I'm gonna say it's love it. Love it. Send me some chocolate peanut butter pretzels.
I'm making
I would eat
pretzels
it.
with
I would eat it.
peanut
I would eat it.
covered with chocolate. That is awful that you're not sending it to us.
Yeah. I mean, I would eat it. I would eat anything with peanut butter, even if it has chocolate on it. I would eat it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know. Um. You know. Um. Yeah. So. Um. But yeah. Um. But yeah. So. Um. Let me think some other things that I want to bring up. We're
How
in
about
51 minutes right now, so we have a lot of time.
we got plenty of time. Don't feel rushed. Do you
Yeah.
have what are some of your favorite TV shows? Or did you tell us already?
I already said about the well I have more, but I already brought some of them up.
Okay.
But one of my all time favorites, all time favorites is Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that way with
and
peanuts.
here's a fun fact about me. I know every single line from that movie from my memory and from my heart.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
You know. I also do that with the Office. And what I told you the other day about the Office. I know
You
every
got the
line
whole s
from that.
yeah, and you got the
You
whole
know,
set for your birthday.
huh?
You got the whole set for your birthday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. But that's
yeah,
I'm the same way. If I like a movie, I can see it over and over. And, after a while, you get to know the lines.
you know, you know. But yeah, but yeah. So there's those. So we're being off of like mystery and action. Now we're in comedy. So Seinfeld, I said, The Office, The King of Queens is another one that I love. That we all know Leah Remini's on it, and Kevin James and the late Jerry Stiller.
Right.
You know, I know a lot of lines from that also. From that series, and you know, I do want to meet a lot of the cast. Well, obviously Kevin James, because I found out that his daughter has autism. So I would love to meet him and talk with him about autism and all that stuff. But he's a busy comedian, and he's busy with performing and stuff. So he doesn't really talk to anyone in on like Instagram or Facebook or any of that on privately. you know but I do want to meet him, badly. I do want to meet him,
Well, the other thing you
I'm,
can
I'm,
always do is send him a message and mention that and just see. You never know. Like he probably doesn't talk about it online because he doesn't want that kind of thing online because it's very private. But if you said, I have autism and I'd love to meet you and I'm a fan, you never know. You might go, all right, I'm going to be in your, I'm in Culver City, so he knows where you are. And then he might go, hey, I'm in Culver City. I'm going to come meet you. You never know.
yeah,
You
but
never know.
but the thing is I do, I like, well, here's the thing. So yeah, so this was last year. So this is when all the things with the protesting has been happening. So
Right.
so um, Leah herself did a premiere video of of um the man that passed away. I don't remember what his name was. Mike something.
Mike
Um,
Rinder. Mike
yeah,
Rinder.
yeah. So she did a premiere video
Right.
of their podcast,
Right.
and I went, and everyone that was in the chat, was there, and also me, and I said, I introduced myself to Leah and all that, and you know, she said, she said hi to everyone, and also to me. And then I told her that I loved you on the game show People Puzzler
Oh.
that she did, and she said thank you, and she said that's one of my favorite jobs.
Is that her new show? It's a game show?
Yeah, it's what People Puzzler is, it's a crossword puzzle game. It's like
Oh.
you're doing crossword. Like you know you're 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 doing that, and also it's it involves the magazine people, the magazine, People
Oh,
magazine and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's what the game show was. I don't know if I know it's still on the air, but I don't know if they're doing any new seasons or any of that stuff,
Mhm.
since
Well,
Leah's
someone just told me
busy and
tonight.
stuff.
Someone told me tonight that she has a TV show that's a game show, and I don't
Y-
know if this is what you're talking about, and maybe it's came and gone, and they're just watching replays. They thought it was new.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
the so 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 the show People Puzzler didn't start until 2021 or two, I think. So it's not really brand new. It's been around
No.
for like 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
Oh, okay.
You
I
know,
got you.
you know, but yeah, um,
That's fun
but
though that you
yeah,
do
so
that.
but yeah, and one love said if I loved any game shows. I mean, so what we were bringing up a little while ago about Tori being on Let's Make a Deal, and Mike, not Mike, Mark being on Break the Bank. You know, I have never seen Break the Bank, but there's episodes on YouTube, and I want to see it to see
Yeah, I had
what
never seen it either. I want to see it too.
you know. But Let's Make a Deal I've seen so many times. I don't like the Wayne Brady version as in a whole, as a whole. How everything was. I like
Mm.
the old Monty Hall
That's what
episodes.
I was in, was the Monty Hall one. That's it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the other one I was on was the Newlywed Game, and we won.
yeah, yeah. I was trying to find that episode on YouTube. It must be maybe it's on Asian Network or something, like they might air it or something. I don't know if they will,
Well, it's
but yeah, I
74,
want to
so
see your episode.
yeah, if anybody sees it, let me know. It's 1974. And my name was Bazazian back then. It wasn't Christman. I was married to Harold Bazazian. So just so you know, that might be another reason you're not finding it.
Yeah, yeah. But as for game shows, I have a ton. Well, one, and it's a popular board game, Scrabble. I
Oh yeah,
love Scrabble.
me
I
too.
love the board game, and also the game show with Chuck Woolery that just recently passed recently last year or something.
Ah,
Yeah, I think he passed
interesting.
in November of last year. I think. Yeah. But yeah, he was the host of that, and you know, you know, but yeah, that's one game show I really love. Is that one. The other one is about also The Price is Right, obviously, with Bob Barker and all that stuff. I'm not a fan of the Drew Carey version. He's not really funny, or as Bob Barker was. Um, but I really loved Press Your Luck. With the whammy.
Right.
Wah, wah, that always makes me laugh. Is when someone hits a whammy and they're like, ah, you know, you
Oh.
know, you know, you know. But but yeah, but yeah, but
Ooh,
yeah. So, but yeah.
I'm just
Now,
reading a couple of the comments. Sharona said, "Oh no, I just found out there are chocolate covered paydays." Ooh, that sounds good. And the other one was that I wanted to mention was Marloka said, "I love chick o stick. It's candy." I guess that I don't know where you live. Maybe it's in a different city or something.
yeah, well, yeah, I would love to know where she or her or him live, and if
Yeah.
they have it where they're at.
Yeah, let us know where you guys live, where you've got it as candy. And
Yeah.
then the other one that I wanted you to know, there's so many nice comments. Everybody's really happy that you're sharing your story. And love it says Eric, I'll bring some to LA next trip. Ooh, good. She's gonna bring some of the chocolate covered pretzels with peanut butter. Did you hear that, Eric?
Let me see. Let me see where. Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
You see it?
temples.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she's gonna do that. So
yeah,
that'll be good. And
yeah.
June L said, Tori, Eric, and Chats. She said to say hi. Hi, Thingy. Is it Thingy or Fingy?
I
Do
think
you
it's
know Eric?
thingy. A thingy. I think.
Thingy. I think so too. And
Well, her
JB808
real
said,
name is Alondra. That's what
oh,
I saw on her profile name is Alondra.
don't tell on public unless she says it's okay. Anyway, I thought Finji was a guy all this time, so that's fun to know it's a girl.
Yeah,
JB808 said, I hated Seinfeld when I was growing up, but I think the show about nothing is brilliant now. I'll have to check that out on YouTube. The show
what
about
Seinfeld?
nothing.
What Seinfeld?
It's a Seinfeld one called The Show About Nothing.
No, that's the name of the. That's what the name of it is. It's Seinfeld.
Oh, that's the name of it?
Yeah, yeah, it's a show. That's what they name it as. It's a show about nothing, but the
Oh,
name of it is Seinfeld, and it's on Netflix.
okay. Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay, good. All right. I'll watch it on there. Okay, good to know. Thank you. And am I saying this right? June else? She said, my son has autism. We watch the game show channel all day almost. So that would be fun for you guys to get together if you could. I don't know.
Yeah, my cable doesn't have the game show channel. We have game show network, and that's closest as game shows that there is.
Have you
Buzzer
ever
is
thought
another
about
one that I don't have. Is
have you
Buzzer.
ever thought about going on a game show, Eric?
Well, 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 well. So this is a story that I need to bring up with everyone. So when I was a kid, this was in the 90s, and this is the 80s game show. This was the 80s game show and the 90s game show, and also 2000s and up. Or
Okay.
was, but there was a game show that I really loved, and it's on Nickelodeon. And it's Double Dare.
Okay.
And well, the thing is, they tape their game shows in Florida and not in California. So
Oh,
if I decided to audition for Double Dare and be on the game show, or any of that, or bring my family on to be on it, you know, we would have to fly to Florida to be on the game show. You know, um, but yeah, I always wanted to be on that game show and do like the physical challenge and all that stuff. But 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 the thing is, back then it was hard to to do that when I was in elementary school at the time,
yeah.
and it was hard for me to audition for stuff. I mean, I really wanted to be an actor when I was a kid, like a child actor and stuff. But you know, but that would have been like, I have to remember lines, and I have to remember things on a TV show, that I have to say, and if I say it wrong, it'll be a blooper. You know, you know, but like you know, but that really didn't take flight, with being an actor and stuff, so you know,
Well,
yeah,
I still think you could go on a game show because they just so you know, this is what got me on Let's Make a Deal is someone reminded me they need contestants every day. So Let's Make a Deal for me was a total accident. I went to see the Johnny Carson show with some friends from Chicago and they didn't show up. And I thought, well, I've never seen Johnny Carson. I might as well go. So I went to the show, watched the show, and afterwards, a guy from Let's Make a Deal, which I'd never watched, came out and said, we really don't have enough audience. Can anybody from here come on over and be part of our audience? And I thought, well, okay, I'll do it. I'll help them out. So I go over there. They're all in these kooky costumes, right? And I had just been working for the Olympics selling hats, flags, buttons, Olympic souvenirs. And I had hats on my head. Well, you've seen the photograph, the hats on my or flags on my head and hats and buttons and everything. I made $4,000 in 2 weeks in 1984, which is a lot of money back then. And
yeah,
I knew the outfit was good because everybody wanted to take my picture. They'd say, "Could we just take a picture with you?" And I'd say, "Well, you have to buy something on me, a hat, a flag, a button, whatever." And so they'd buy something and then they'd take their picture. But I knew it was a sellable product because of that. So I thought, I went on, I saw all these people in the kooky outfits, and I thought, well, go back in your Olympic outfit. So I went the next day, they picked me, and I won. So there you go. That's my Olympics. That's my Let's Make a Deal story. But they do need people every day. So, you might want to think about it because I think you'd be good on it. I do. You might win.
yeah. Well, the one I would probably would be good at is on People Puzzler, since I want to meet Leah Remini and probably audition for that, and probably see if I'll be able to play, on the show. But since they're not airing new episodes or a new season, I have to wait, until
Right.
till that happens. But I
Okay.
really do want to be on the game show and win money and all that stuff. I mean, it's only 10,000, so I mean, you know, but but
But
but yeah,
we went on the Newlywed Game just to get the concession prize. That was all, which is what you get if you lose. And that's all we went on for, and we ended up winning. So you never know. I mean, it's fun to go, number one. And we figured, okay, if we win a camera, that's good. This was way back when people didn't have cameras. And
yeah,
and so we just went on to get the camera. And the last question was, Mrs. Bazazian, if you can answer this question, you will win the Newlywed Game. And I'm sitting there, and she goes, or he goes, What? Does your husband have a photograph of you in his wallet? Well, I knew he didn't because we came on the show to get the camera so we could take pictures of each other. So anyway, we won.
Yeah, and was that the one with Bob Eubanks, or am I wrong about
I
that?
think it was. I think it was. Yeah. And and not a streamer bro said my heart is happy seeing everyone here. Aw, that's nice. Everybody's really happy to hear your story, Eric. It's very, very important.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the replies in the chat. JB808 said he always wanted to be on Double Dare and Where the World is From in San Diego when he was a kid. Yeah, I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that you know, with with JB808. Skyfire said, that I don't know if it's a him or her, but went and saw an episode of Double Dare filmed in Pennsylvania. It was the best trip for that person. So I'm like,
Wow.
that's
Look at
you know
that.
um you know
I'm just
but
saying thank you to this person because they chipped in $10. Thank you very much.
yeah, but yeah, so um but yeah, I that but yeah, but with game shows and all that, it's up in the air if you win or lose. Like, if it's like a answer and question type game show. If it's like, like, a lot of the game shows that has that, you have to know the answer to that question. And 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 you know um you know um it reminds me of that I Love Lucy episode. I have to bring this up, the I Love Lucy episode where Lucy and Ricky was on the quiz show, and
Yep.
Lucy stole the answers from the previous, uh you know yeah, that episode, and then Lucy said the answers from the wrong one. I'm like, that would be so me if I was on a game show. I would have the wrong answer and the wrong thing, and then
Me
I'll lose.
too. I
But
know what
but
you mean. Yeah. That was a funny show, though. One of my favorites is the chocolate one where she's, supposed to be making the chocolates and they get faster and faster. And
yeah, yeah. But the thing is all this time that I've seen that episode so many times, is I always thought it said. Well, I thought the lady that was yelling "speed it," speed it up. I thought this person said "speed it upper." Speed it and then upper. That's what
right.
and then it was, and then when I'm on Facebook and stuff, and like the groups and stuff for I Love Lucy and stuff, it's speed it up a little.
Oh, I
So
think that
I'm
was good
like,
too.
all, for all these years that I've seen it, I always think it said, I thought the woman said upper instead of a little. So I'm like, you know, you know, it's funny how my brain is with that one.
Well, sometimes it's your brain, but it's also the sound. Sometimes the sound back in the day wasn't so great. So it did sound different.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, I would love to be on a game show, but it has to be one. It has to be one that that I would understand more. And People Puzzle sounds like it would be easy for me to do. Is be on that one with Leah Remini and stuff. Since that's like easiest for me, to be on. With with guessing the word and stuff. The
The other
crossword.
one that I think you would be really good at, I can't remember the name of the show, but it's where, it has all these things where you can put the balls down. So it
Oh,
isn't like,
something with something. I think it was the ball. Something. It was something with the ball,
but
or
you know what I
or
mean? It's not like a question answer kind of thing. It's just like you have to get these balls, and I forget how it works, but it I thought I could go on that, and you can only go on 3 game shows in your life now, and I've been on 2. So I only have 1 more to go. So I've got to go on one I can win. And that one I thought
yeah.
I could maybe win on that. It's a maybe, but I could try it.
I mean, the only game shows that are on right now is like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. All those type of game shows that have been around for a long time.
Right.
I think you would be good at Wheel of Fortune. I would think. Since it's letters and it's I mean, I if I was like on Jeopardy and I was like really well, I am a smart person, but if I knew every single question, I would get every answer right. But
Well,
in
of
this
course.
case, but in this case, I don't think I would. I mean, if I tried, I might get at least maybe a few right, but that's it.
Right.
You know. But
But
yeah,
they
but like
say
those
the
are the
console.
main three game shows that are on air right now. Is Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and The Price is Right.
Well, Let's Make a
Um,
Deal is still on. It is.
yeah, it's with Ryan Seacrest. Pat Sajak is not the host anymore. He retired last year.
Right.
You know, you know, but
But you
you
could win
know,
that. You could win that.
well, the thing is with letters. I mean, with letters and all that. I mean, I mean, I have a app. Well, I have a hard time with OCD. I have OCD, so with my hands and stuff, I don't like to touch different things. If it's like something hard, or if it's something that's wood, or if it's something that's sharp, or if it's whatever whatever it is. That's my OCD with if I want to touch the wheel and stuff and try and turn it,
Oh.
and all that. That's OCD in a nutshell for me.
Oh, and that would be uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
you could tell them ahead of time and say they have to spin the wheel, you know.
Yeah, but at least if I tell them, and all that, but if they say that you have to do it, then
No, you
that
know
won't
what we
be
could
right.
do? I can go with you, Eric, and I'll just say I'll spin it for him. We'll just set it up ahead of time if you want to do it. I'm just saying we could just set it up where I'll just say any of the things that you're uncomfortable with, I'll just say I'm going to do those, and they have to go along with it. They just do. You know me. I get my way. It'll work out if you want to. If you don't want to, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And Skyrider says JB808 at the end, since no one made it to the last challenge, Mark Summers fell backwards into the whipped cream and popcorn.
What? Wait, Mark. What?
This is from Skyfire, and he was saying to JB808 at the end of whatever they were talking about, since no one made it to the last challenge, Mark Summers fell backwards into the whipped cream and popcorn.
Oh. I saw a few episodes on YouTube of Double Dare. I saw a few episodes, and what Mark did is how funny he is. He would try and tell the contestants that were kids and stuff that they have to you have to jump in this tub of popcorn or any of that, and then and then you have to grab a flag, and then you win this prize. Whatever it is. If it's like, if it's a stereo system, or something. Um, I saw one time on an episode, he was doing the Tarzan. He was doing that. And he almost lost his balance and fell like forward right into the camera.
Wow. Wow.
I'm like, I'm
Fun.
like, I'm like, I'm like. At the time, he was about my age, so that was in 1980. It was in the late 80s, so it was around the time I was a thought. I was born. Um, you know, um, but yeah, he was about my age, when he did Double Dare. Maybe a few years younger than me, but now he's 73. you
Wow.
know um he's at the point in his life where he's retired, and he doesn't want to do game shows anymore. And I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, when you hit 65 and up, you just want to retire. And
Right.
you know and you know and you know uh that's what he wanted to do. Oh, I need to bring this up with all of you, and Tori. I am friends with Mark Summers on Facebook. I'm friends with
Really?
him.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, and also I DM him one day, and then he replied to me back after I said I loved him on Double Dare and what would you do and all that stuff, and he said thank you.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I love that story. Well, maybe
Yeah,
let him know that we were talking about him on this YouTube.
yeah. Um, but yeah, someone was saying in the battle was saying about something. What was the game show? Oh, that's typing. Oh, uh, um, um. Let me find it. Um, it was about
You look at it, and I'll tell you something while you're looking. Okay?
mm,
Say yes or no.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah.
You're
I'm
looking. Okay,
seeing
well,
what there
keep
is,
looking.
but
I'm just
what
I'm
is
just
it?
gonna I'm just gonna tell you afterwards, if you have time or sometime this week, Google Tori and Bob Minton um, whipped cream fight.
I
Yeah.
saw that. I saw that on
Did you?
YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
when I first met you, I brought that up in your chat when I first met you on your live.
Right. How did you first meet me? Somebody asked, "How did we meet?" And I just know you're on my chat, but I don't know how did you end up on my chat?
Well, I found you through Mark Buntner. I found you through him.
Ah, and how did you
Yeah.
find Mark Bunker?
Well, through you know, you know, through I found him through the person that is not being named. The one in Florida. You know, you know, you know, the one with the
That
starts with an
starts with
A.
an A? It starts
Yeah,
with an okay.
yeah. Yeah. That's what I found out about Mark, and but yeah, that's why I found out about Mark. But I didn't really subscribe to Mark right away. I subscribed to him when you were on it, when you were on with him,
Right,
and that's when and then after you were on with him, I subscribed to you, and then when we first met on your live in April of last year is when I started being on your lives. Is in April of last year.
right, right. And then recently, I forget how it came about, but we decided to talk on the phone. And that really that's a big thing for me. If you really want to get to know me, you should call me or set up a phone call because that's my best thing. I don't really think people get to know each other texting. I just don't. I mean, I do have people that I like. Sophie, I feel like like she's my sister, but Sophie, I did get to meet. I did. So
Yeah,
that was fun. I like to meet people in person. Wow, not a streamer, bro. Thank you so much. That's very kind. I
but
think I missed
but
that.
but yeah. So um, So yeah, that's where I where we you know crossed paths. Was on I was on Mark's live, and I saw you, and then I went on your live, and then I met you.
Right.
So that's where it all started back in April, of last year. And but there was a time where, I decided, to unsubscribe for a while. Maybe we had some sort of problem. I don't remember what it was. My brain doesn't remember things from last year or before or whatever. But yeah, we had some sort of problem that we dealt with, offline. I think it was on Facebook that we dealt with something or whatever. But I don't remember what it was. But now we reconnected, on and I subscribe to you again, and then that's where we decide to talk more, you know,
Right.
but you know you know Sophie said, Tori, it was lovely to meet you, and yes, it was like we have known each other forever.
I know.
Yeah,
It really
yeah. When
was.
the, when you and her and when
Love
you
it.
and her met the first time that I don't know if it was if you met Sophie in person, or if it was on your live and you met her for the first time, or I don't remember.
No, I met her on she's been my moderator since Love It. The two of them came together, but then Love It and she were getting together and they invited me and we all got together and went and had coffee and I got to meet her and it was actually really funny because we were up in I think Griffith Park and we were up in kind of up somewhere and the person driving ended up off the road. Did we have to call the tow truck? I think we did. I think we had to call a tow truck to get us out of it. And Sophie says, Eric, we met in person when I was in LA. Yeah. She's talking about she and I think,
Yeah.
unless you met her in person.
No, no. I would love to meet Sophie in person if I was able to walk and stuff, but at that time, I was dealing with all my leg and back pain and stuff, and I'm still dealing with that now. But yeah, I would love to meet Sophie if she's back in LA and protesting and with you and all that. But but if she ever wants to be in Culver City, and maybe if me and you wanna get together and all that stuff, Sophie's welcome to join along, and we'll have a bite to eat or something, you know, you know, and all that.
Yes, absolutely. I think my really dear friend lives in Culver City. The one that you see me protest with, if you've watched my protest where it's just me and this other guy, he lives in
Yeah,
Culver City. Yeah, he
yeah,
lives in Culver City. Yeah.
yeah.
Sophie
Um,
says, Tori, yes, your driver drove over the curb and we had to get a tow truck. That's what I thought.
oh, remember the time? I was dying. I was dying laughing when this happened. Remember when Solomon had his bike behind your car, and I don't know if you were driving or something, and your car backed into his bike. I
Right.
was like, I was like, I was like, I was like, oh boy. I'm
I
like,
know. I know. I was really worried. It was me, and he said it didn't hurt it at all, but it was just a tap, but it was scary.
yeah, but But
I
like,
miss Coleman.
if I was able to drive and stuff, I would, if I was driving, and I knew how to drive and stuff. If I wasn't having, if I wasn't able to, if I was able to drive and stuff, man, I would have to have like, a car that has a backup camera on the screen, like the ones they have now. So that way I
Right,
know what's behind me and stuff. If I put it in reverse and I'm
right.
trying to back up, out of a spot or whatever, and that's what I wanna. That's how I wanna have. That's how I wanna drive. Is have something that puts me in the zone
Yeah, and alert
with
you.
something behind me. If
Yeah,
it's a
I need
car
that.
or something.
I know, I need that too because but I'll tell you a little tip that Drew taught me, who's the guy my friend in Culver City that I protest with. And he works for the gas company. And he said, "This is just a little tip the gas company taught us, but I use it all the time, Eric. It's just a simple thing, but it's very powerful. Excuse me. Never back up farther than you have to." And you know what? I realized that's what a lot of accidents in parking lots are, because people back up and then they back up farther and then they hit a car.
Yeah, but since I'm a car person, I love cars. And I told you on I think it was on your live from last last week.
Mhm.
That I told you about that. That your Honda is a 2000
2005.
and yeah. Well, I did some research, and your car is a 2002.
Really? No, I
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't think so. I
Well,
don't.
well, well. Here's why I know. It's the front axle, the front grille of the car, and with the ones from 2005, they're more a little bit round in the front of it, and the grill is a little bit different. It's like the last year of the Honda Civic, so it's like the last body style of the car. So
Well, I'll ask Drew. He's a big car person. He knows my car inside and out. And I'm pretty sure we have the manual, and I'm pretty sure it says 2005, but I'll look and I'll tell
yeah,
you. It's 12 hours direct. I hate stopovers. It's not that bad, actually. Okay, so I guess Sophie, I don't think I could drive in America to, it's too freaky for me. Last time I came back from America, I accidentally pulled out the wrong side, of the road. Guess I got used to America. That's Sophie. Well, anyway, then
yeah.
she's
Since in New Zealand where she's at, and how it is in the U.S. and all that, the roads are different. They're different on and the cars. The cars. Steering wheel is on the other side. It's not on. It's on the passenger side. It's not on the driver's side.
right. I know.
Where it is for for people here in the U.S.
Right.
You know. You know. But yeah. But yeah. So it happens to a lot of us. When things happen in other places. With driving and stuff. I mean, and if you were in New Zealand, the roads would be different. The cars would be somewhat different. I mean, they have different types of cars. Different
Right.
base models and stuff than we have here. But there are some models that we don't even have. That we don't have in other countries.
Right.
Like for instance, for Honda, they will have another name for the Civic in another country. It will be a
Mm,
different name. So
mm,
it'll be the Honda, the Honda, you know, whatever they name it. If it's like a short name or if it's a long name. So it's like where the part will be the same body style, but it will be a different name than it is here. You know, I mean, I've seen how like Fords and Chevys and all of those, they have different they have the same types of cars and trucks and all that stuff and SUVs and stuff, but but you know in like New Zealand and stuff, they have different names of cars that they have, um but yeah, but like for instance, one of my all-time favorite parts, and the thing is I'm a big car lover, like I said from before, but I'm also a plastic car lover that I love old plastic cars, like, from like the 60s and the 50s and all that stuff. And one of my favorites is the Mustang.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You
we
know,
used to have a Mustang. Not
yeah,
not me and my husband, but my parents when I was littler. And I think I learned on a Impala. I forget what that is, but I think it's a
that,
Chevy.
yeah,
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 that's what I learned on. All right, so now
yeah.
let me ask you this: do you have more things you want to say, or do you want to do some questions?
Um, well, I have some more things, but I, well,
Well, you
since
can
we're
keep
at an hour,
talking.
I mean, I have more things to talk about, but um, it's already 9:25, and we're at an hour and 36 minutes.
Okay,
Um,
so we better do
um, I'm
questions.
I'm able to talk as long as I am, able to, talk, but if anyone has questions, they can put it in the chat and then read it afterwards.
Okay. Well, but
Mm.
let's have you answer it. So, does anybody have any chats? Our steering wheel is on the other side. My friend has a 68 Mustang that is left-hand drive American. That's from Sophie. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
did you ever see the
my
movie?
huh?
Hmm? Did you ever see the movie The Holiday?
The one with Kate Winslet, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw it once, but I hated it. I didn't really like it. I mean,
Really? It's one
yeah.
of my favorite movies. That and Dave. Have you ever seen Dave?
Uh, I don't think I have, but if it's on like Netflix or Amazon Prime or any of those, I'll have to check it out and see it.
I don't think it's an older movie. Dave is definitely an older movie, but it's funny. Oh my god, it's really funny. And I love The Holiday, Sophie. Yeah. She and I both like it. It's a chick flicks, but it is they do show England. That's why I brought it up because they show her, not her, but the other lady. It's not Kate Winslet, it's the other lady, which I forget her name. But she is driving in England on the wrong side of the road, and it's really funny. She's like, oh, 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 oh. And I thought that would be me. It's like, oh my god, they're gonna hit me. Because you got to drive on the wrong side of the car and the wrong side of the road for us. Okay, here's
Yeah.
a question for Eric. How long have you had your YouTube channel?
Well, well, well. I first started in July of 2013. That's when I first made the channel. But when I first started doing like live streams, I never do videos. I'm like I don't post videos or any of that. So I mostly do live streams. So I didn't start that until 2017. So I didn't start doing those for at least 7 years at
Mhm.
least.
Wow.
Um, but 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 when I started my lives and stuff on my channel, all I did was, did chit chats and talk, and also bring up about, autism and all that stuff and 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 all that stuff. But back then in 2017 when I first started, there was a lot of trolls
Yeah.
and and
And bullies.
and I had no moderators at the time, so I had no moderators, so
Oh,
I had to block them myself.
oh,
So 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 after I did that, there was some people that joined my chat, on my live, and they were nice and sweet, and they also live in other states and other places. Um and I asked them, would you like to be my mod and help me out? And a few said yes. So I
oh,
made
good.
one person a mod, and then I made another person a mod, and then I made a third person as a mod. So I had
Good.
three mods for like maybe half. I did it on my first live, or I did it later, but but I did have some mods, but now that I haven't after my YouTube was suspended, back in 2018, because some people reported me and stuff. I had to file a appeal with YouTube to
Really?
yeah, I had to
What did I
email.
report you for?
Well, for harassment, bullying.
You? What were
Yeah.
you doing to harass them?
Well, they were saying. Well. Here's the thing. It was so I don't allow kids on my chat that are minors. I don't
Sure.
allow that.
Right.
And these kids joined my chat,
Oh,
and
okay.
they said you're too old, you're dumb, you're stupid, and all that stuff. So I'm like, well, I started to curse at them and blah blah blah, and I said to them, you know, you know, you know, that you're being blocked, and you're not allowed to be on my live, and I said f
Good.
off and all that stuff,
Good.
and then they reported me.
Yeah. Well, those are those kind of old days where before we knew, now we know a little bit more, and people are, you know, it, it, it's sort of like we know those trolls are around and we know who they are. So anyway, that's the way it is. But I'm sorry you had to go through that, Eric, but I'm glad you came through it. You know what I mean? It's really good. It builds strength. I always tell people, they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry you had to go through this in Scientology." And I go, I'm stronger because of it, because I did it. I mean, it was, you talk about bullying. I had 8 years, Eric, of no one would stand up for me. No one except for Andreas, Bob Minton, Stacy Brooks, Jesse Prince, and Mark Bunker. That was it. Everybody else was against me. I was OSA. Remember, Scientology said 2 Christmases ago, look out for her. She's a top secret undercover CIA agent. So remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so there's a few questions. That are in the chat. Yo-yos. I love that name. I used to play with yo-yos when I was a kid.
I know, me too. I
But
love it too.
he was. So this person was saying, opposite him or her, was like, what's one of the biggest things that it seems people don't understand about autism? Well, I brought this up earlier. I'll bring it up again for the people that are joining.
That's okay.
Well, there are people in this lifetime in the world that say hurtful things like the R word, say slurs and homophobic and all this type of words, offensive derogatory words and stuff. And the R word is one word I don't tolerate and I hate. Um
Right.
um and 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 that's one of the things that really really puts me on edge, and it makes me upset, you know, and you know, you know, with people that don't really understand what autism is, I would say is look up the definition on the internet of what autism means to you or anyone here in the chat or anyone that sees it on replay, and see what it affects with people with disabilities and with autism and stuff. And it will put their minds, in a better way of interacting with a person like me with high function autism. And and you guys will know that, you know that you know you guys understand, and um you know what I'm dealing with, and
We care
and
about
that's
you.
all I have to say.
Right.
Another question I saw from Raphael, I think that's his name, Raphael O, is how did you discover the anti-Scientology movement? So, so here's how it started. So, first I started off on TikTok, and I saw Streets, William Good on
Oh,
TikTok,
yeah.
and this was when he was when everyone was protesting at the test center in Hollywood.
Right. Two
And
Christmases
for,
ago.
huh?
2 Christmases ago, not this Christmas, but the one before that.
Yeah. Um and and um and when I started seeing what he was doing, I thought he was some sort of like troll at first. That's what I thought. I thought he was like harassing other people and being like, yelling at other people and being like, saying like, you know, Scientology is a pole, and he's yelling at these people and all that stuff and everything else, you know, and I'm like, I'm like, why is it? I like in my mind, in my mind with autism and stuff. I'm like, why? First, I'm like, first, what I thought in my mind is like, why is this person live doing this, and yelling at people and all that, and why are you harassing people in Scientology and stuff, and then after a while, I'm like, oh, he's protesting. He's protesting Scientology, and he's trying to shut it down.
Yeah.
So, so so in my mind, I'm like, when I started seeing more and more of him, I'm like, he's trying to shut down Scientology and trying to protest, and then when I saw others like Jessica Palmadessa and accompanying Chris and Chris without a Hellcat and all those people and Danny and Leah and all of them, that's when I started seeing, you know, what Streets was doing. And then after that I started, started that. Well, I didn't really subscribe to everyone at first, but
Right.
I did see their live streams when I lurked in their live streams. Wasn't replying and stuff, but I was seeing what was happening and what they were doing and stuff, and yeah, I was there from when they had the buses. When the buses were transporting all the people in Scientology and all that. So I was there on everyone's chats and stuff on YouTube.
Right.
Um, when all that was happening. Um, but yeah. But yeah, I've been following the Scientology for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I've been you
Good.
know you know you know you know and seeing what everyone's doing, and now with the test center shut down, closed up and stuff, and
Which it's not.
and the
So
blue building
it
is still
opened up
active.
again.
Huh?
It opened up again. Just so
When
you
was
know.
that? I must have missed it. When did that
2
happen?
days ago, my friend Andreas, who was the person who called me about Jessica 2 years ago, drove by there because he lives right near there. And he called me up 2 days ago and said they're open, they're recruiting. So I want to get those guys back there because Will has said, go ahead, open up, we'll be back. So I want to make sure they go back because that it's really important. What they've done has been really good.
Yeah. So that's what she said. I like that name of hers. It's like what Michael Scott says on The Office. That's what she said. But she said what is it that you do best, and what is your favorite thing to do? Um. Well, as I said from earlier, you probably missed what I said from earlier, but I love to eat. That's what I love to do is go out to eat and eat at different places, restaurants, fast food places, all that stuff. Since I like burgers,
Right.
fries, spaghetti, tacos, burritos, I love all different types of foods
Food.
that I've eaten. That I love. Um, but yeah. Oh, one thing that I do need to tell you guys is so. I don't know if Tori heard of this, but or any of you in the chat. You guys probably know more than Tori does. But have you
Hey,
guys but have you heard of diecast cars? Like
what is it?
toy diecast cars?
Toys die cast hard?
No, no. It's cars, cars that you're driving.
Okay, cars.
Yeah, they're diecast. They're smaller versions of cars. They're like model cars.
Oh, yeah, I have. So what about them?
Well, I collect them.
Oh,
Yeah, well, not the ones that you have to put together and stuff. They're already in like a box, and they're already made and stuff, and they're made from like a different brand of what they sell them online or anywhere. But yeah, I have like at least 50 plus cars,
now
at
are they
least.
the little ones?
No, they're like the 1/18th scale of the cars. They're like almost life size, almost. They're
Wow.
almost.
Where do you put them?
Well, I put them on a shelf, on in my room, or you know to have them on a flat area, and I just put them there, to have for people to see and stuff if they want to see it.
That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I started doing that when I was in. I started, buying those types of cars, when I was in my teens. When I was in my teens, I started doing that. Was when I was like 13, 14. That's when I started buying those types of cars.
And that's a very valuable collection, just so you know.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. Yo said they're bigger than Hot Wheels and the Matchbox ones. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And not Tori. Sophie said I have heaps of them because I have sons. Yeah, I mean, I mean, you know, 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 but yeah, the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox, I've had those. I have those, but over the years of playing them when I was little, I this is the thing I did all the time when I was little is bring them in the bathtub.
That's what my son used to do with the Hot Wheels.
But yeah, but but after playing with them in the tub with the bubbles and the water, the paint started to chip off
Oh,
and started to lose its paint and stuff. So I'm like,
mm.
what? Well, that's it for that. So I stopped you know uh playing with those in the tub, and I started playing with like what is it? Action figures. Like
Oh
action
yeah.
figures like Spider Man, or Spider Man is my favorite. So I normally play with like Spider Man or Batman or whatever, like the action figures, and play them in the tub, and all that stuff. But yeah, so um but yeah, um um Victor Roberts has a question. Um he wants to know, was autism created by L. Ron Hubbard about 2 or 3 galaxies back, and his
No.
victims were mostly attorneys and DAs that were after L. Ron Hubbard, whose name was Satan back then. You might have an answer to that, Tori. So I'll let you respond to that one.
Okay, the answer is no. All right. So, I mean, L. Ron Hubbard didn't create anything. Everything that you see that's L. Ron Hubbard, he stole. I have two friends that spent 10 years tracing every single piece of technology that L. Ron Hubbard wrote, quote unquote, wrote, and every one of them can be traced back to a different author, someone, or a philosophy or a religion, some tens of years ago, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. So L. Ron Hubbard didn't create anything. No. He created things that made you wrong for having it. Like I have epilepsy, and he decided I was a degraded being because I have epilepsy. And, it's just like we're the most evil people on the planet and whatever. Remember, I have my SP Declare. I'm one of the few people out here that has my SP Declare. There you go. And that's my March nail polish. See, I just have, that's for Ireland because I'm English, German, Scottish, and part Welsh. But anyway, I just want to read this one thing. It says from JB808, it's a comment. You, Eric, are a brave man for sharing your experience with us all, Eric! Exclamation mark. Thank you for doing that. And thank you, Tori, for sharing your platform. You're very welcome from both of us. I know Eric feels the same. But thank you, Eric. It's really, I've really enjoyed this conversation. We have to have another one.
Yeah. So since it's already almost 2 hours, let's do questions if anyone
Okay.
has any.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Well, I saw one from JB808. He said, besides Tori, are there any streamers you enjoy watching? Does it have to be limited to anti-Scientology related streamers? Well, um, I have a friend. So here's the story about, and besides Brady Bunch, that's a TV show that I've seen before. Um, um, so the story is, I have a friend that I've been friends with for about 10 years, or almost 10 years. It will be 9 in it'll be 9 years in the summer, in like June or July, you
Right.
know. And his name is Hal Moss, with 2 A's, not 2 S's, with 2 A's. And he's a radio personality from Michigan, and he does radio at a music classic rock radio station. I love classic rock, and I love music and all different types of music. You know, um, um, and and he talks to his chat, about different topics. And on certain days he's on YouTube, and also
Oh,
on certain days he's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on YouTube, and also on Facebook. If you guys have Facebook like I do, he's on there also. Um, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, he's on Instagram on
oh,
Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it's early in the morning, so it will be 4 p.m. my time, not 4 p.m., 4 a.m. my time, and it'll be for me and Tori, 4 a.m. our time, and for whatever time it is for all of the others, it will be, like 5 in the morning. It might be the same time zone that you guys are in. It might be different,
And what is
but
his name again?
I'll tell you what. It's Hal, HAL, and
Okay.
then Moss, MAA with 2 A's, and then S. But
Okay.
his at name is 5119.
That's it? Or is it Helmas 5119?
It's Hal Moss 5119.
Okay. Good. I'll check him out.
Yeah. I've been friends with him since Periscope. If you guys remember Periscope, it was an app through Twitter, and that's where I met him at. I met him through that app.
And he's from
So I've been friends
Michigan?
with him for a long time.
He's from
Oh,
Michigan?
JB808 um wants my oh, not JB808, love it. Love it. Let me see.
Your channel. Why don't we type in your channel?
Yeah, I'm putting it in the chat for everyone to, subscribe and all that.
But
So
I
Love
thought
It
you
will
said
be
it
able to
was,
find it.
but here it says 30, your name in 30, and I thought you said it was 36 something else, 8 or
No,
something.
no, 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 no. That's my email.
Oh,
My That's my email. But when I
oh,
first started YouTube, when I first started doing videos and stuff, not videos, live streams and stuff, that's when I was 30 years old at that time.
aw.
You know,
You're way ahead of the group. So
yeah,
it's 30. Okay. And that's your YouTube channel.
yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, so yeah, if you guys want to subscribe, I'll be doing a chit chat live if you guys would love like that. I might do some panels, and bring people up if they would like. I might do StreamYard like Tori does and all that, and I might do that. And if anyone wants to join me and talk and stuff, I'll be able to do that through StreamYard or restream, whatever I decide. Um, you know, um, um, but 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 yeah. Um, so yeah. Um, but yeah. I don't know when I'll be doing another live next. But I will, maybe do a YouTube post, to let everyone know.
Yeah.
Um, or I might do like on YouTube is I schedule a live, and everyone will have will be notified. So I might do it
Good.
that way.
That's a good idea.
So that everyone yeah you know so they'll be able to be be able to join me, and all that. So another thing I might do, another thing I might do is is I might well I want to do this, as a YouTube, thing, is well, obviously do panels, but I would love to interview every single YouTube streamer, like, and you interview them and get to know every one of them, that is part of your life, and all that, So I would love to interview, all of you guys, and talk about what you guys want to talk about. So I might do that, at some point. So I might do a one-on-one, like what
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
doing.
I feel the same. That's what I asked the other night. Does anybody want to do an interview? And you said yes, you did. Congratulations, Dawn. Welcome. She's a YouTube member. All right, that's good. A new member. So hi to everybody. Hi, Connie B. She just popped back in. And a bunch of people subbed on your site, Eric, just so you know. So you
Well,
should have.
thanks to everyone that's has subbed and and for your love and support.
Sure.
Um, you know, and yeah, I'll be doing some live streams, soon. When I schedule it, and everyone will be notified, and we'll have a talk, and all that. I might play, maybe some like copyright music. I'm not playing like real music that will shut my YouTube down. So
Yeah.
I'll play some copyright. What is it? Um, copyrighted music that doesn't have any words in it. It'll be just like relaxing type music. So I might do that, so that will like relax people's minds and stuff. So I might do that. Um,
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't. But you know what I do know? You can go to Chat GBT and type in music, and they have music that's their stuff, and I don't think we can get in trouble on it. My friend made a song for Spanky, and he did the guitar music on it, but Chat GBT were the singers.
yeah. I think I have the app. But but I have I have another app that I have that I'm able to um play copyright free music, that I have. It's an app that I found. I don't remember what the name of it was, um but yeah but yeah I'll try the chat GBT app that I have already, and look at what music they have and all that, all that. I want to hear Tori's brothers. What? Yeah. What?
What am I doing?
Sophie said she wants to hear your brother's music.
Oh, it's funny. You can just type in David Chrisman on Facebook. Are you on Facebook, Sophie? Sophie? Eric?
I see
Hello?
Sophie's reply. I see Sophie's reply. So if she wants to hear his music and stuff, um, if he wants to hear his music, if he has Facebook, then
Yeah, just type in David Chrisman. That's his name. David, and the last name is the same as mine, and his music is there. You can go there and listen to it. It's trance music, which isn't it's not my thing at all. But I love my brother, but I don't love that music. I don't think it's music. I really don't. It's the one thing that Sophie was talking about how music transcends all barriers, and some say it's the highest form of art because it creates. Ooh, I just lost it. It creates some groovy thing, but I lost it.
oh, Sophie wants to know his band name.
It's 1,200 micrograms. They're big on LSD. So they're all living on Koh Phangan, which is an island off of um, Thailand, because he was on his way to Vietnam and COVID hit, and nobody would let him in any country. because he's not a citizen anywhere except America, and he wouldn't come back here. So he stayed in Koh on this island, and a bunch of his Israeli friends, the mother of their child is Israeli. So a bunch of the Israelis came and moved there too. So now they've got a giant party there with that. And he said, I always wanted to retire on an island. So there you go. He's a
Yeah,
good guy.
yeah. Oh wait, what happened? I like trans and modern country irritates me. I get angry. Well, 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 well. That type of music, I've heard, modern country music. Um, you know, but I love the old, type of country music. Um, like, well, I'm not. I used to be a Dolly Parton fan. I used to love her, but but after her, what happened with her husband that passed away, that I heard on the news and stuff. You know, she's dealing with some heart, not heart. She's dealing with some grieving, grieving on her husband. Um,
Well, I'm still a
but yeah,
fan of him.
I used to love her music, but I'm more of, you know, um, um, country music that's like, who is it? Like Kenny Rogers and like all that. Was it all? I almost said the name of the other band, but yeah, I love like the old type of country music, you know, you know, but um, you know, but but oh, Sharon's here. Sharon. So here's who Sharon the Sharon is. Um, is Miss Sunrise Dawn's family member, and I'm a moderator for her on her YouTube.
On Sharon the Angelic?
Yeah, that's Miss Sunrise Dawn's family member.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
good
so
for
so
you.
I met her on Miss Sunrise Dawn's live, and I mod for her on her live.
Cool.
Yeah, her
Well, hi.
cousin.
I think this is
Yeah,
the first time I've met her, Sharon the Angelic. But I
yeah,
hope
yeah.
you subscribe to her.
I told her about you on Dawn's chat yesterday. So I told her, jump on, on the
Yeah,
live.
yeah. Please subscribe, Sharon. It's free. Connie B, I think trance would be okay if I partook in the acid experience, but I have never done that and it sounds kind of scary. My brother got me into acid when I was a teenager. And his thing was you have to be in a safe space with people that you love and are very kind and good people, and then you'll have a good acid trip. If you just take acid, it's very up in the air. So whenever I took it, because I'm a hippie from the '60s, and I lived in San Francisco with all the hippies and everything, and I took a lot of acid, but I always kept that in mind. Have a safe space and good people around you, which is a good thing to do anytime. All right. Sharon the Angelic said, I don't really talk online a lot. I subbed last night when Eric said he'd be on with you tonight. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I know it can expand your mind, but what if you have a bad trip? Well, it's like anything in life. What if you have a bad trip? You have to get through it, right? I have a thing that happens to me. Because I'm like a knucklehead in certain ways. And I was coming up my stairs and someone had put a handrail on there after I got a hip replacement. And I was holding on to it, and the whole handrail came off, and I fell out into the grass on my front yard. And it was midnight, and I was calling for my roommate, and he was sound asleep. He didn't wake up. He lives in a different part of the house, and he didn't wake up. And so I have a thing, get it together, Tori, get it together. And that's my thing. It's like if shit happens, I have to get it together because that's just the way it is. And so I went, get it together, Tori. And I just kind of scooted over to the stairs, then up the stairs, then up to the door, and then in. And that was it.
Yeah, AGT mom had something. She must be an America's Got Talent fan, but she was saying, didn't taking acid mean that there were Scientology forces you were not allowed to take? That's what AGT mom wants to know from you.
I had taken it in the 60s. I got in Scientology in 69. In the early 70s, Hubbard came out with a thing saying anybody who's taken acid is automatically kicked out. It's just like you can't have you, I think, or I'm not sure if you were kicked out of Scientology or just kicked off staff, but you couldn't be on staff and have taken LSD. I think you could always be public because he'd always take money from anybody. But if you already had taken it before you got in, you could stay. And so that's why. Oh my God, Tori, that you fell. How scary. But at least you made it back inside. I know. It was very scary, Connie. It really was. But I do that thing where I go, get it together, Tori. Remember, I have epilepsy. I haven't had a seizure in 30 years. But back when Scientology made me get off my medicine, I was having lots of seizures. And I'd have to learn to get it together because I'd be out somewhere by myself. And it was really scary. Really scary. Anyway,
Oh, one love said, now that's a bad trip.
that is a bad trip. Amen. What does AGT mom say? Why? Why what? Why
about
do you
about
well,
the acid, about taking acid, that you were not allowed to take in Scientology, in the forces.
who knows? Hubbard had a new thing every week when we got in early 60s, late 60s, early 70s. He was always discovering something. And he discovered that, people that had taken acid weren't doing well with auditing. Now, was that true or not? I have no idea because most of the Sea Org that are in now have done acid, but they were old time acid people and they just let them stay. So I don't know. It's
Oh,
hard to answer regarding Hubbard because it's not anything really logical. It's just whatever his, remember he was popping pills and taking medicine all the time. He made me get off my medicine. I found out later he was popping pills. Could I take shrooms? Not in Scientology. You couldn't take anything.
yeah, yeah. What is it? Now the thing is since we're bringing up about acid and all that stuff. Um, well,
It does. AGT mom. It's supposed to. Go
yeah.
on. Go on, Eric. Sorry.
I was saying that back in the days where like all the things that you all did back in the 60s and 70s and all that stuff.
Right.
Those were like the hard things that people had to deal with, like if they did acid or they did like drugs or they did marijuana or any of that type of stuff. It's like
Right.
you know it's like since I don't smoke, and all that, but you know it's hard from back then when you have done it for a long time, that when you smoke or do marijuana or any of that stuff, your body, and your lungs and all that stuff takes effect.
Mm.
And and yeah, it's very, very hard for. I mean, my aunt went through that since she was a teen. So she started to smoke when she was 18, and she started having emphysema throughout her life. And 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 it's sadly she passed away, 9 years ago. But it takes people's health when you have done those types of things, smoke, cigarettes or cigars or yeah, stuff, over the years. So yeah, so nowadays, people do vaping and do more other things, but yeah, so
Well, I never did a lot of drugs, like for a long time. I mean, I left New York, drove across the country to San Francisco to become a hippie with the Summer of Love in 1967, 68, I think. And I was there. And in 69, I went back to Chicago and then ended up in college and quit college, read Dianetics, and hitchhiked from Chicago to LA to do Scientology. So I was like a kind of a flaky drug person where I wasn't really a drug addict. I just did different things. It was like a social druggie. Whatever everybody was doing, all right, I'll try it. I'd see, and that most of the stuff I didn't like that much. But cigarettes, Scientologists in the 70s were huge smokers, huge. And I used to smoke 2.5 packs of cigarettes a day. I got married in 74 and I quit overnight. That night, I bought kids little, those little cigarettes that you can buy that smoke, they're puffy, Eric.
yeah,
So I bought those little cigarettes, and back then everybody would get together outside and smoke. So, you'd want to go out there and talk to them. So I'd go out there and then I'd get out my little fake cigarette and start smoking. And they'd all laugh at me. And I'd say, hey, the last laugh is on you because you're still paying to kill yourself. Because I realized the guys that were selling the cigarettes were probably in suits. They probably didn't smoke, and they were making billions off of killing people. And that I quit. I added up how much I was spending a year, and I quit that night. That was it.
yeah, yeah. And there was a lot of music from back in the late '60s, with the hippie,
Yeah,
days and stuff. There was
really
like
good.
Leonard Skinner, there was Cream, there was Rolling Stones. There's like the Beatles, obviously, but like with those types of music, that puts everyone in the mood when everyone is doing like Woodstock type of music and stuff, and it puts them in their minds and stuff, and the music helps with whatever they're doing.
And AGT mom, and I'm glad you told me how to say that, Eric. I wouldn't have known that. Said, didn't taking acid mean that there were CFS courses you were not allowed to take? I don't think so on the courses. I think it was more you couldn't be on staff. I think. I'm pretty sure. It's hard for me to remember all this stuff, but anyway, it could be. I don't think there were special courses you couldn't take. No. I think it was more on staff. You couldn't stay on staff. I think. You might be right. It could have been the OT levels. I don't know. I don't remember. Remember, it's all BS to me. All right, so let's see. Dawn Glove says, yep, AGT mom. So maybe you can fill us in on Dawn Gloves. Now, that's a bad trip. That's funny. All right, now let me scoot on down here. You're right, I get behind. Okay, the battle. I recently started religiously vaping flower. That's amazing. You get all the benefits and none of the harm, or very reduced. Well, I never heard of that. You're vaping flour. So you mean flour that you make bread with? That's what you're talking about. Wow, that's new. I never heard of that. Shirin the Angels. She vapes salt nic and reduce nicotine gradually down to 1 mg from 6. Good. Cannabis. Oh, it's not flower. Okay. Well, what is it? Well, you said flower. Bud flower. Okay. So, okay, Eric, what's he talking about?
Who, no face or
No, yeah, no face. What's he talking about? Flower. He's snorting flower. He's doing something
must be
with
doing,
flower.
that must be, no, no, oh, he's saying cannabis. Cannabis, well, let me see.
He started
But I was
vaping.
saying cannabis, not flower.
He said I was
Um,
religiously vaping flower. That's amazing because you get the so vaping flower. So vaping, we know what vaping is, and then flower. I guess it's from a bud flower, like a flower, like a real flower. That makes sense, sort of.
yeah, yeah, it sort of makes sense.
A little bit weed. I'd be snorting sugar. No face. It makes so much sense. It does. You'll have to show us. Do you live in the area? The battle? Tori, did you ever meet Elrich? No. If so, how much was he like the character in the movie The Master? Not at all. I mean, I heard enough of his tapes and things, and I knew him through my husband because my husband met him when he was 5, and nah, he wasn't. I really didn't like The Master. I didn't really think it really nailed him at all. The freaking bud of weed. You put it in a vaporizer. Geesh, wow. Very, very tricky.
Oh,
Um,
sci-fi said that maybe 808, something about, about, um, the music that he brought up, about modern country and stuff. And he was
why are
saying
you
that he hates
sorry?
Garth Brooks. I love Garth Brooks. I like
We
his
like
type of
those.
music.
I like that stuff. Why are you sorry? Never heard anyone call it boo. Okay, I'm lost.
I mean,
True.
um, but but yeah. So oh, the Val said wasn't it Darren Aronofsky? I think that's the name of it. And he was saying if that was him in The Master, but I don't know. I never saw it.
I really didn't like it at all. Some people really did. I didn't. But they lose their flavor after a couple of chews. Okay. I think you can buy the candy cigarettes online in old timey candy sites. Oh, cool. They were fun. I'm telling you, because it feels like you're smoking because it's a cigarette, and then you blow the smoke, and the smoke, the little powder goes out. It's very funny. Anyway, okay, I agree with you on that Skyfire. I know it's just that I don't hear it well. Okay, okay. So, Eric, do you have anything else you want to say before we end off?
Well, all I need to say is it was nice to meet you all, and also and thanks to Tori for having me on, and we'll have to do a part 2.
We
You
will.
know, you know, um, but yeah, it was nice to meet you all, and thanks for your support and for subbing to my channel, and 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 yeah, so I don't know when I will schedule a live yet, but I will uh let you guys know. when I post it, and then you'll be notified. So that way you'll be in the know when I go live, and and you guys will be able to join in.
Good. Well, thank you, Eric. You have been a true gentleman and a wonderful person to help us understand a little bit more about what it's like living with autism. And I greatly appreciate you sharing all your stories. You have really good stories. So we
Yeah,
will
well,
definitely do a part two.
yeah. Well, for the next part two, whenever you're up for it, um, we'll plan it out. We'll talk about it on the phone. We'll talk about it. You know, we'll talk about some other things, that I didn't really talk about, and that I didn't want to talk about, this for this live. So the
Yeah.
next live we'll talk about the other stuff.
Okay. It's a deal. And thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that came on because you were all so nice. And you're just a wonderful group of people. I say it all the time. I love my YouTube site and each person. You're very kind and it's always fun to see you. It is. So I'm glad, Eric, you got to, tell us more about you. That it's really fun because you've been on our site for a while. So that's good. Now we know a little bit more about you.
Yeah,
Very good. And if anybody else wants to do an interview, let me know because it's fun to get to meet each person individually, kind of get to know them a little bit more.
yeah. Well, um, so Tori, while I have you, do you want to still talk when we get off of the live? For maybe a minute.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I mean, we end it here, but then we'll stay on the StreamYard side, and then we'll talk a little bit. So you end your live first, and then we'll talk a little bit.
Okay. All right. It's a deal. And good night, everyone. And thank you to my moderators for Love It and Sophie. Thank you so much for helping out and keeping everybody that isn't cool out of here and all the cool people in and saying hi to them all. I can't type and interview at the same time. So I wanted to say to everyone, hello, and I love you and all of your kind things. But anyway, good night. All right. So I'm gonna hit end stream, Eric, and then we'll talk.
Yeah,
Here's my brother and I. That's the Chrisman wave. All right. I love you too. All right. Talk to you in a minute. All right.